Today we'll be showing you how to install the UTU Indoor Sauna. So once you've received your UTU Sauna, you'll be unpacking the crate, grabbing the user guide, and making sure that you have every bits and pieces you need to do your build. Take note that this sauna is the medium size in their sauna lineup and fits comfortably 2 people. Once you have everything you need, the first step in the build of the sauna will be to install the 3 lower back walls, starting with the left corner. When putting together the 3 lower walls of the sauna, you'll just have to screw them in place using 2 screws into the pre-drilled holes. Once we're done with the 3 lower walls, we'll be installing the 3 upper walls. From left back to right, we'll be screwing the upper wall diagonally using the pre-drilled holes on the inside of the sauna, and then screwing the back wall using the pre-drilled holes in the back of the sauna. Now that your 3 outer walls are completely in place, we'll be installing the 4 brackets to hold the upper and the lower bench at the height that is described in the user guide. Very important notes, during the install on the outside of the sauna, you were using zinc plated screws. On the inside, since there's going to be humidity, you need to use the stainless steel plated screws. Since you might have to slightly level your sauna at the end, when putting up the brackets for the sauna to make sure that they will end up perfectly level, always measure your measurements starting from the bottom end of the sauna itself, which will always keep steady no matter how you adjust the lower end of it. With the brackets installed, at this point we'll be installing the stepping bench and the main bench, as well as the skirt and the backrest, in which we're going to pre-install the LED lights. First off, we'll be putting down the stepping bench, which is a smaller bench that comes with the kit. Then we'll be installing the skirt that goes under the main bench with 2 screws in the back. We're going to lay the bench down, and then we'll install the backrest with the 2 integrated LED lights. For the backrest, on the back of it, we'll be installing 2 lighting strips on the top and the bottom using the supplied brackets. You'll also make sure that you'll be running the wiring through the holes that are pre-drilled into the back wall. Benches are now installed. Next step will be to install the front wall next to the door. We'll be putting it against the left wall, screwing it in place. Once that's done, we'll be adjusting the level on all of the footings to make sure that the walls and the top are perfectly level. Given that we built a leveled base for the sauna itself, it's now sitting very level, so we don't really have to adjust anything. However, if the base where you're installing the sauna is not level on its own, you can adjust it, adjusting all of the footings that are under the wall using a key to either screw the footings a little bit further into the sauna or out of the sauna to move it and place it perfectly leveled. Now onto the door. We'll be installing the door, screw it in place with 8 screws on both sides of the wall. Just like the rest of the sauna, it has little footings that are adjustable. You'll also have to remove the bottom plate. It won't be used, it's just used for transport. You can put it in the recycling or the garbage. Installing this door handle is very straightforward. Just unscrew the 2 screws. Make sure that you have 2 plastic washers on both sides of the window. Screw them back together. One little note, make sure that the metal handle is on the outside of the sauna because the inside can get quite hot. To make sure that the door latches properly, you have a little supplied magnet that you'll be installing exactly to the right height, just wedging it onto the window. After the door is installed, we'll be putting the roof of the sauna itself. It's going to be a two-part roof. We'll be installing the front part first, the second one later. Before doing that, however, we'll be setting up the little aeration vent at the top of the second floor. Once your rooftop panels are installed, you'll make sure that the front is properly leaning against the front side of the sauna. You'll have to measure both sides of the top panel to make sure that it's properly centered. Once that is done, you can screw the front in place. Afterwards, we'll be measuring both corners on each side to make sure that everything is properly squared at the top, and then we'll be able to finish screwing the front panel. Once the front panel is completely secured, we'll be going through the back, sliding the back panel a little bit further down in place, and then screwing that one in place. To make sure the door frame won't move out of place, there's a little bracket that you simply slide onto the footings on both sides to make sure that they won't be moving from one side to the other. And there are also two strips on the bottom of that plate to remove and glue it in place. Onto the finishing touches of the outside of the sauna, we'll be putting the outside trims. First off, we have two trims that are going to the front, which are very specific as they have plastic brackets that goes into one another that you'll be hammering in place with a mallet. Next up, we're gonna have 4 trims to install. 2 of them are gonna go on the side of the door frame to hide the joint. The other 2 are gonna go on both corners. When installing the ones in the corners, make sure that you run the wires inside of the finishing trim onto the top of the sauna. Now that we're done with the finishing touches of the outside of the sauna, we'll be moving on to the inside and the heater. You'll have to run a set of wires coming from the rooftop into the sauna to be able to wire in the heater. Then you'll have to install 2 screws, very specific heights that are described into the user guide. These screws are going to help set a bracket for the heater guard shield, and then we'll be installing the brackets to hold the heater itself according to the heater's manual. To set up the LED lighting, you'll need to connect the power supply to the cable that will then lead into this junction box. You'll have to put the positive with the positive, negative with the negative, and then in the other side, you'll be able to plug in all of the different colors for the LED on the wiring that you've run through the sauna. Once fully wired, you can pair the controller with the junction box, and then you can set the controller on the wall where you'd like to set the bracket. That's it, you've now completed the build of the sauna. All that's left will be to get the heater connected by a professional electrician, and then you'll be able to use it. If you have any questions along the way while building the sauna or for its usage afterwards, don't hesitate to contact our customer service.